Points of information are a large part of what gives schools debates its dynamism. During your speech, you can be challenged on what you say, and if you accept a point from your opponent, you must try to answer it. On offering some POIs, there are some basic rules. Like offering POIs in every constructive speech that your opponent makes, each team member should be offering at least 2 or 3 POIs in each speech. Stand up to offer a POI. If you are rejected, sit down and wait at least 10 to 15 seconds before standing up to offer another one. POIs may not be offered in the first or last minute of a speech, nor in reply speeches. Make your POI brief, no more than 15 seconds. It doesn't have to be a question, but it should be something that the opponents need to respond to. POIs are one shot. Once you've asked your POI, sit down. Now, there are also different types of POIs. POIs come in different shapes and sizes, though they are all called POIs, short form for points of information. Requests for clarification. These are useful to clarify omissions, contradictions, and vagueness in the other side's case, definition, or even their model. POIs can also be used to expose contradictions within speeches and also between speakers. There are also principal POIs. You're talking about A and B, but it's not clear which you support. Which is it, A or B? Or if you're supporting A, do you support B? These are different types of questions that you can ask your opponents based on the principles presented. Forcing your opponents to make choices can force them into defending a harder line that they had initially not want to present. There are 2 golden rules of offering POIs. First, don't waste your POIs on stuff which is not important. And second, keep them short and sweet. Taking POIs, now there are some basic rules to this. You can accept or refuse any given POI. To refuse, simply say, "No thank you," or politely wave the speaker down. But to accept them, you can say yes, or "What is your point?" or to be honest, anything else that signals acceptance. You don't have to take any particular POI, but before the last minute of your speech, you should definitely take 1 or at most 2, because you may be marked down if you are offered POIs and do not take at least 1. So do listen to the chief adjudicator's briefing at the start of the tournament. Try not to take the very first POI offered to you after 1 minute, but equally don't wait until nearly 7 minutes before taking one, because it'll mess up the entirety of the flow of your speech. Take a point somewhere near the middle of your speech, preferably once you have finished making a point or a rebuttal. Once you've accepted a POI, you should let the offerer finish the question before answering. If they go on too long, more than 15 seconds, then you may cut them off. But make sure you and everyone else has clearly got their point. Make sure you do your best to answer the question, even if it's hard. Don't say, "I'll answer that later in my speech," unless you absolutely intend to do so. Judges know these tricks and may mark you down if you dodge that POI. So remember, there are 2 golden rules of taking POIs. First, always take at least 1 POI, and second, always do your best to answer it. So that's all for this session on POIs. We will see you next week for more tips and tricks on how to succeed at World Schools Debating Championship.